G'day legends, welcome back to Team List Tuesday for round 5, going through all the changes this afternoon. Got my 5'8", the Catalyst with me. Do you like that one?
Oh, I like that.
Not bad.
How about, I've gotten so many names today, but not my actual name. I've been called Kath, Katrina, and Kate.
Hurricane Katrina.
Yeah.
Like it, you've certainly hit the studio like a storm. Got a one-of-one sculpture of Tom Trbojevic, which Kat just Gronk spiked at the ground and broke, so that was really nice of her.
I'm really sorry about this
shocking
one.
omen.
This is a shocking omen, and I'm kind of lost for words with it. I feel really, really guilty.
Well, see if you can make up for it today with a good performance on Team List Tuesday. Kat, we have got the Thursday night games, Thursday night game, blockbuster here. What do we got?
Amy Park, 8 p.m. It's going to be a Storms versus Broncos.
Never say Storms again or you'll be out the door.
Stop.
I'm taking a stand.
That was accidental.
It'd want to be. Okay, for the Melbourne Storms, apparently, Cam Munster at 5'8", Husey returns at 7, Sean Bloor named on the edge, no Chan, real kick in the dick for us Supercoach players. Outside of that, no changes. Nelson Asafa-Solomona still not in the side, playing for the Bears at the moment. Bit of an interesting situation there. For the Bronx, Sailor still at fullback, Takura named on the bench, no Willison, not in the extended either. Not sure what's doing there, but not stoked about that. Not a great start for our Supercoach sides, Kat. Take us to Friday.
Wow.
Jesus Christ. Feel free to join us whenever you'd like.
I turned it off because I make so much noise. I bump everything. I love this because you've had a go at me for saying Storms versus Broncos, but you've done Bulldogs versus Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's going to be a good clash. It's going to be a tight one.
That's Bulldogs on a bad day. They are just playing themselves. But this one will be on Friday at 6 p.m. It is Bulldogs versus Roosters.
Now, for the Bulldogs, Josh Curran, he's been named on the edge. I don't quite believe he's going to play there. I think he'll come off the bench. Joining him on the bench is Edwards, and we've got a debutant who, Kat, I've heard he's a really nice guy. Who have we got?
We've got Kotoga. Lovely guy.
For those of you that don't get the reference, I know that Kat knows Kotoga. I asked her a few weeks ago how he goes, what position he plays, blah, blah, and she responded with the stat file of he's a nice fucking guy, which was probably the most useless thing you could have told me.
And you know what? This is going to follow me around forever.
Yes,
I think I get at least 1 or 2 DMs a week just with an update on Kotoga that he's a nice guy from people. So thank you for that.
So make sure you flood Kat's DMs this week after she broke my turbo statue. Karma's going to come around in the shape of a Kotoga, who I believe will actually start in this game. I don't think they can afford to not have Josh Curran through the middle. Roosters, Lindsay Collins back in. The only real change there. Terrell May back to the bench. Not that that really matters. What have we got for the late game Friday night, Kathmandu?
8 p.m. we'll be up in Newey for the Knights versus Dragons, and you're particularly excited about one person in the Knights. What's happening? Yeah,
good to see our boy Jackson Hastings back in the side at the expense of Tyson Gamble. But even better, Jack Cogger named at 5'8", which means in a couple of weeks, Kat, my draft team might get a little dual position play, which, fuck me, we desperately need. So Cogger at 6, Hastings at 7, Leo Thompson returns, thanks God, in the front row. For the Dragons, Harm Saleh out of the side, Michael Molo on the bench, and Tommy Eisenhuth returns in jersey 13. I thought he had a blinder the other night. So Super Saturday, Kat, what do we got?
Super indeed. It's Rabbitohs versus Waz. This one is at 3 p.m. at Accor.
How are we feeling about this one, Kat? A little bit nervous or what?
Definitely nervous. There's very little confidence these days with me and the old Rabbitohs, but it's early days. We'll be fine.
The only other thing worth noting that I ignore that, Sam Hughes is actually starting for the Canterbury Bulldogs as well. I missed that. So that's exciting. Might get more than 3 Supercoach points this weekend. For the Rabbitohs, Isaac Thompson named on the wing. Outside of that, no major changes there. For the New Zealand Warriors, Charles Cockstad returns at fullback. Tamare Martin named at 5'8". Very interesting. And Nia Corey on the edge. Kate Wall not in that side. Obviously, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck returning to centre, which I think was always going to happen. Writing was on the wall there. 5:30, Kat.
We are in Manly at 4 Pines for their game against Penrith, and they're going to want to put on a better performance than last weekend.
Yeah, that was pretty grim. Manly 1-17 there, no changes. For the Penny Panthers, James Fisher-Harris returns. Liam Martin also named on the edge despite having an injury last week. Hopefully our boy Liam Henry holds on to a spot in that team. I think he will. We need it for Supercoach. 7:30 game. Kat, what do we got?
Dolphins versus Tigers at 7:30 p.m. Very excited for the Tigers.
This will be a good one. Stone in jersey 13. Maxi Plath drops out with suspension, and Kenny Bromwich comes back into the Dolphin side off the pine. For the Tigers, coming off a famous victory, Bud Sullivan named at 5'8". Lockie Galvin out of the side for 2 weeks, and Latu Fainu makes his debut coming off the bench in jersey 14. We've seen what Benji's managed to do with young Lockie Galvin. Very, very excited to see Latu make his debut. Fingers crossed he gets on the field. Bud Sullivan didn't the other day, but I think Benji will find a role for Latu in this game. Sunday, Cat, what is doing?
It is another Queensland derby. We have Cowboys versus Titans.
Yeah, 4:05 p.m. coming in from North Queensland. The Cows. No changes to this side, I believe, as named from last week. For the Gold Coast Titans, really interesting. Phil Sami out of this side. I would say he's injured off the back of last week. I don't know how he played through that injury, to be honest with you. Khan Piera also dropped. He's on the extended. Harley Smith-Shields, Harley Sexy Shields makes his debut. And Jojo Fafita, we spoke about him on Bloke, wondering where on earth he is. Good to see him named. Fafita still on the bench. Got another debut, I believe. I don't think he's played first grade yet. Josiah Pahulu. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong, but Kid is an absolute gun. Keep an eye on him. Gold Coast Titans fan, you'll be well and truly aware of him, but other fans, make sure you keep an eye on him. You might even call him a CBA. Cat, you might even. Raiders, Eels, late game. I did your job for you, but take us away.
You did. Will be 6:15 p.m. This is Raiders territory, and the Eels will be down in Canberra.
From the nation's capital for the Durs, Adam Mariota named on the edge, Zach Hosking not in the side. Simi Sasagi has obviously arrived at the club, has gone from being a centre/winger to a second rower, been doing well in New South Wales Cup, gets his opportunity to come off the bench. Really happy for him. I think he's a good young player. For the Parramatta Eels, Ryan Madison named on the edge. Wiramu Greg comes into the side as well. Pretty big team list Tuesday there, Kat. Jacko Hastings back in. Cam Munster named. Titans made a couple of changes out on the Stings. Plenty going on.
Heaps going on. Big week. Very exciting.